talk to me about the Bombers and what's happening down there, Gaz, because big play in the off-season to beef up their strength and conditioning staff and then beef up their players. They need to get bigger. I think James Hird very publicly talked about the fact that they were getting pushed around a bit by the bigger sides, Geelong being one of them. Went down the path of getting them into the strong room and throwing a hell of a lot of steel around. Now we're starting to see soft tissue injuries, and they're obviously being questioned along these lines. Is there anything in...
I think the fitness man has come from Geelong.
Going way back, and then went to Gold Coast as well. Dean Robinson, his name is. He calls himself the Weapon.
What, self-titled?
Well, he's known as the Weapon anyway.
Okay. I beg your pardon?
That's his nickname.
Did he introduce himself, say, "G'day, Warrior, Weapon"?
I don't know that, Gary, but he's referred to as the Weapon.
Like Tom Turkaloo might be down there, and he's cut off sleeveless
shirt.
shirts.
Tommy the Turk.
He's a big man, Dean. You better be careful, Warrior.
I'm not having a go at him. I'm just saying that's his nickname.
Well, it sounds like you are.
Yeah, I reckon you are.
Well, don't misconstrue what I'm saying, Daddy. It wouldn't be the first time you've done that.
Well, I'm sure Welshie, our trainee, might get a little transcript of that and give it to the...
Anyway, we've got a man in here.
Yeah, go on. Get him properly introduced.
One of our all-time favourites.
No doubt about it.
Who's done the job here in Australia and abroad.
No doubt.
Playing for
global.
No.
Global.
Jim, playing for Australia in the international rules, and also for his beloved Essendon Football Club. And I speak of none other than Mark McVeigh. Welcome, Spikelet.
Thanks, mate. Great. Thanks very much. Yeah. Let's move on.
Great to have you. What's wrong with you?
I got a slight calf, so I've missed obviously the Gold Coast, missed today, and then we'll see how we go for ANZAC Day.
Got a conflict of interest? Did you declare that when you were on the Channel 9's footy show?
No, I did it the next day. So
you did the calf the next day?
Yeah, in rehab.
Okay.
That's how good I'm going.
Before we get into the serious matters, because we want to talk about the Bombers, earlier you would have been listening on your drive in. The Warrior over here has decided to take aim at your fitness man.
I didn't.
And said that he refers to himself as the Weapon.
In the first.
He what?
Yeah, he will send an email, and at the bottom of that email it says the Weapon.
It does not. Is he out on the ground right now doing the warm-up?
He's actually got a unique running style, if you see him.
Where's the whip? Look,
he's fairly solid.
He's a big unit. Big unit, and he knows it and tells the boys quite frequently how much he can bench and all that.
So, Warrior, he won't be looking for Warrior then if he refers to himself as the whip.
No, he's a big man. He's a big man.
Got enough wars on at the moment, Danny.
Yeah.
What did you make of your former teammate Matthew Lloyd's comments that today's game, the middle peg of those three games, was one that was expendable in Essendon's season?
Yeah, it's funny because as a player, it's very hard to go out in the field and say, oh, well, we'll tip this one over and we'll worry about next week. So, look, that Lloyd is in the media now and he's got to have an opinion, and he's a bit of a velvet, we know that. But I think from a playing point of view, we're in a great position where we're playing against a really good side. If we can play well today and win, we get Collingwood, who's been down a little bit on form as well. Anything can happen. We can be 5-0. So when we tell that to the players and your coaching staff can see that, you'd be mad not to think, we'd love to pursue that. So, it's never come into our equation at all.
Spike, you don't want to look at the past, but obviously your home ground, Etihad, your last 13 matches here, you've had one win, 1 draw and 11 losses. Can you put something on that?
Yeah, look, it has been a bit of an issue. Obviously, MCG's quite bigger than Etihad, and I reckon our press last year didn't work as well at the MCG as it did at Etihad. Now, the game's changed a little bit this year. It's, as we know, in the first 3 or 4 games, it's been up and back. We've been training a lot at Vic Park over the pre-season because of the fact that the ground is a lot bigger than Windy Hill. So we've tried to address those issues, and hopefully today we can come out on a bigger ground and put in place our structures as good as possible.
And you're coming to the twilight of an unbelievably good career.
I don't know about unbelievably, but
3 or 4 years yet, but coming to the end. So they will come to you, Essendon people, Essendon hierarchy, and ask your opinion on a whole range of issues. Now, David Evans wants this to be Essendon's home game. He wants to move his games from Etihad because the big job gets done here. Now, that record would be one of the reasons. And James Hird would be sitting back saying, we ain't winning grand finals at Etihad. We're not getting the job done out here.
Yep.
If you had a preference,
Yep.
which would be your home ground?
I'd like the MCG. There's no doubt about that. And I think the facility that we're building now out at Tullamarine will be the size of the MCG and a ground the size of Etihad. So clearly that's the direction the club wants to go into. And and you're right. The finals, the big games are here, so why not play here all the time?
So would you encourage them to be even more aggressive in trying to, if not get out of their contract, renegotiate where they're at?
I reckon they'd have to renegotiate it. They'd have to look at it. And I think David Evans, as we've seen in the past, he's a bit of a go-getter. He doesn't hold back. He wants the best for his footy club and the members. So if that's a job that needs to be done, he'll do it.
$200,000 a game too might tickle his fancy, Garry.
Here?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big crowds
Makes a
pile
big
in
difference.
Here.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, because we did discuss, we got Welshie here and yourself, a couple of the all-time greats. Tommy Bellchambers, as I understand it, a man who's really starting to rise.
Belcho.
Big Belcho.
Getting it done?
Getting it done.
In all quarters?
Significant
Everywhere.
work.
Just not senior footy.
No.
But
Big
this
Tommy.
so I love that about him. But I want to ask you about the footy side of him, Spikelet, because when you've got, of course, Hill, and you've also
You
got
don't want to ask you about. You just want to bring
Patrick
that up.
Ryder, I want to ask you long term where Belcho's at.
Well, I think he might be targeting a few A-listers, I've heard.
No doubt about it.
I won't throw any names up, but he's
Well,
going
he's
all right.
in a good headspace.
I
then?
think he is.
Yeah.
I think he's going well.
Is
but,
he is he sort of the apprentice to Ryder?
I think
Celebrity
he's
style?
definitely a bit of a celebrity apprentice. He likes that show too, by the way.
Oh, does he?
He loves that
Yeah.
show. Yeah. So he's going very, very well. He's been dominating in the VFL, and I think he'll be out there today, which is great. And he's been waiting for, I suppose, a player to fall over, if that makes any sense. And
Yep.
the big Hills has, and he'll give it a crack today. I like it.
We know you got to go. You're a busy man. Australia again, travelling to Ireland this year. Will you make yourself available? Because one of the first pick for us, Spud, when we were in the job.
Are you
Tough.
are you a chance to float over there?
And I wouldn't know. No. I'd only be in an advisory capacity.
Yeah.
But you've proven yourself to be a good performer.
Yeah, it's a great place over there. I loved staying at the castle. That was one of the seven wonders of the world.
One of the things, one of the great privileges you get, don't you? Playing for the country to go over there, and you meet all sorts. So anyway, good luck to you. Good luck to you, and to also the Essendon Footy Club.
No, don't worry. Spike's got kicks in the States, Europe. He just finds rock wherever he goes, Garry.
Tell me this.
The Sharon follows him into the showers.
Welsh, McVeigh down the straight, heads bobbing, sort of our Waverley Star, bone crusher. Who gets there at the end?
I don't know.
Welsh, McVeigh, photo. Too close to
Geez,
call.
I'm glad I come in here.
All I know is if Spikelet's octagonal, I think Big Belcho's Lonro. Up from behind.
And Rats, can you settle a fight and argument that Damien Barrett and I have been having for about 3 weeks? I look at the midfield as a big 8. He thinks there's only 6. How do you view it?
Yeah, I think there's 8.
Footballers stick together, Warrior, you know that.
They're rats
We're never winning that one, David.
Bad luck, Damo. 10 zips so far on round 4.
Absolutely measured and very
That's the end of that argument, JB.
Hang on, the coach agrees with
And
Garry.
accurate. And accurate.
Well, I
always.
think it's if the coach says they bet more than 8,
Yeah,
we've got to
purple.
take rats.
Sort of vindication, I would have thought.
Purple, when they're undefeated and going as well as they are, this is as unwinnable as anything you've ever been in. I reckon.
Until Kane Lucas becomes an absolute regular,
Slide
Garry.
down, Walker.
All right.
You want to look back over it again?
All right, I'll let it go for a few weeks, Garry. I'll come back to it later.
I've seen a lot of pub fights. I haven't been involved in any of them. But every now and then, there's a bloke who cops up and he blows it. He eventually puts his hand up and goes, all right, I think I've had enough. That's about enough.
I'll still be squealing if I get thrown out, though, JB.